Arlington certainly has seen its share of electrical problems this past week. My colleague, Anim Osmani, has the latest on a few homes that were affected. We'll also tell you about some problems at Arlington High School.
You'll be able to have a cup of joe with the men and women in blue this week, promoting a better understanding between Arlington residents, the very people police are paid to protect.
ACMi News starts right now.
From McLennan Park to Spy Pond, from Poets Corner to the Mystic River, we have Arlington covered. We're your neighbors, a friend you can turn to. This is ACMi News.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of ACMi News. I'm Kevin Wetmore.
And I'm Anim Osmani. Several residents in Arlington experienced a surprising power surge earlier this week, leaving some households without power over the weekend. We went to investigate, and this is what we discovered happened.
The lights in the house started to flare, kind of like raising and lowering and pulsing, basically. It was pulsing. Of course, what leaps to mind is you think there's something wrong with your house. So I'm thinking, are we shorting something out? Are we doing something like appliances failed? I start looking around, trying to unplug things, what's going on? The lights kept doing that. It didn't stop. And we've had power outages before where the lights might pop up and on and off or something, but that was not the case.
Perry Abukalov came home on a Saturday evening when things started to get a little peculiar with their electricity, just moments after she and her husband entered their home. Eventually, the odor of an electrical smoke filled the home and the family had to evacuate.
We grabbed the cell phone, called 911, and they advised us to get out of the house immediately. So we waited outside. It was very dramatic. They came with their axes and torches. By this point, it was dark. They looked around. They discovered underneath his desk there was a power strip, and the power strip had obviously basically combusted. It was it smelled strongly, and there was a scorch mark on the floor around right where the power strip had been.
That was just Carrie's home. Moments later, the Arlington Fire Department got called back to the same neighborhood once again for similar concerns. However, damages were different among the several homes affected.
We went home. I was notified by my nephew that he had no electricity. We came home today to find out that we have a lot of burned appliances. My oven, my stove, my microwave, televisions, no cable. I don't even know what else. But it's a lot going on in my house.
And so I went through the house making sure that I had things, that other things didn't happen. And then, of course, it just continued to repeat. I called the fire department. They came down. They looked through the house. I wanted to make sure that it was safe. It wasn't going to be, it's going to burn down on me, right? So while we were walking towards the kitchen, all of a sudden, all my inserted lights went pop, 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 and there was a surge right there. In the morning, I found out the coffee maker's dead, the microwave oven, the switch on my furnace so we wouldn't have hot water, the cables out. You know, it just did a number on all the electrical stuff. Because, you know, my house isn't surge protected, but fortunately, I had one of those surge, those plugs that have a surge protector. So my television, you know, one of the most valuable things, right, was in good shape.
What I heard is that neighbors across the street from us, they lost appliances, they had a smoking television, their microwave smoked, they had sparks coming out, they lost all of their light bulbs. All the light bulbs exploded at once, is what she told me.
Reports from the Arlington Fire Department indicate there seemed to be some sort of power surge in the area between 6:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. that night. ACMi News spoke with Eversource, and they cited that faulty wiring from a transformer box was the cause of the problem Saturday. They told ACMi News power was shut off for 15 minutes to fix the wiring. They eventually resolved the problem, they said. However, neighborhood residents tell a different story, as problems with their power persisted throughout the night. Anyone who may have been affected by the power outage may file an emergency claim on Eversource's website.
In another incident that occurred September 23rd, the cause for the blackout at Arlington High School and adjacent properties have been identified. According to Arlington Fire Department, there was a transformer fire on the pole across from 29 Summer Street that caused a power outage to the area. Residents were left without power for a few hours. The incident occurred around 11:30 a.m., and the power was restored approximately 4 hours later. Students at AHS were dismissed from class almost immediately after the school went dark. No injuries were reported.
On Thursday, October 7th, Arlington's very first Indigenous Peoples Day is hosting tribal elder Forrest Kutch in a virtual 1-hour event at the Cyrus Dallin Art Museum. Kutch, Ute tribal elder and former director of the Utah Division of Indian Affairs, will discuss the history of oppression of the Utah tribes and the horrific colonial violence against Indigenous peoples. Artist Cyrus Dallin was a native of Utah before coming east to make artistic history. Kutch will explore the still present effects of these actions of the past and add insight to the fact that many Indigenous communities still suffer to this day. He will also share his thoughts about how we can all learn from the past and move forward to a more equitable future for all Americans. This event is free, but donations are welcome.
The Arlington Historical Society has wasted no time releasing its list of programs for the 2021-22 season. Its regular time for Tuesday is 7:30 p.m. Its programs will be held at the Masonic Temple, 19 Academy Street. You'll find disabled access at its rear of the building. Programs are simulcast on Zoom. How do you want your coffee? Black, cream, sugar? The Arlington Police Department is inviting residents to some coffee and a conversation at National Coffee Day with a Cop on October 6th. Coffee with a Cop is an initiative implemented throughout cities and towns nationwide that is designed to provide a welcoming environment for residents to get to know their police officers face to face and talk about what's going on in their community. The event is part of National Community Policing Week. This event takes place at Kickstand Cafe from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Hot off the presses, the first issue of the Arlington Magazine and Community Guide is available in both a print version and a digital version. The magazine focuses on the unique features that make Arlington a wonderful place to live and a destination for dining, shopping, arts, culture, and outdoor activities. Articles include a day trip in the Arlington Cultural District, sculptor Cyrus Dallin's legacy of Indigenous allyship and activism, and an artist's perspective on the community's experiences during the pandemic. The print version of the magazine is available at many free outlets around town, including at the business locations of most of the 45 advertisers. The digital version can be viewed and downloaded at visitarlingtonma.org.
It's a very expansive role. You can go in different directions and avenues with this position. I feel as though Dr. Holman, who is the new superintendent of Arlington Public Schools, has been instrumental in helping me to kind of streamline where we're starting for year one and where we're going in subsequent years and how that would align with the district and her goals. So I feel as though this year is a year of listening and assessing, just to gather information and data of where we are at the moment, what we have done, and from there, where do we need to go? So for this year, I feel as though I do have a focus. And like I said, that focus is about assessment and doing interviews and listening tours with all stakeholders in Arlington. One of the things that I feel in doing this work that's really important is that you need to know who you are when you enter into this work. And so this has been really great for me because when I enter into this work, I can tell you that I identify as an African-American, Hispanic woman, I'm heterosexual, I am a mother, I'm an educator. I bring different parts of myself into this work. You can't compartmentalize who you are. And sometimes I think people think they can, but they can't, because from who you are, from your identity, sometimes you might have blind spots. Sometimes you might react from a place of implicit or explicit, biases that we all carry. And all of us carry privilege right, in some shape, fashion, or form. And we need to know what that is when we enter in this work and when we're engaging with students. And if I know who I am, then I can also be comfortable to then know wanting to learn who my students are and also share with them who I am, right? And I think that's very important. I think identity is very important when we were talking about this. Arlington Public Schools has started this work. And that one of my aspirations is that to keep us on a journey of being a diverse, equitable, inclusive organization that has embedded with it anti-racism practices, that we are dismantling white supremacy culture, and that we are really delving into what, when we say equitable and equity, really means for us. And I'm talking, when I say us, for Arlington Public Schools, and that I am working alongside and partnering and collaborating with not just the leadership, also with families and with the students, and ensuring that that's the journey that we start, that we continue, not start, but we continue on, is one of my really aspirations for Arlington Public Schools. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to continue to do the work here. Challenges is that, you know, I can't have rose-colored glasses on and think that everybody is going to lean in and embrace where I believe Dr. Holman wants to take Arlington Public Schools when we talk about equity and inclusion. I feel like I'm a cultivator in a garden. And so when you're in a garden and you're about to plant new seeds, you have to really dig the soil up and prepare the soil for the seeds. And so that's another way to look at it, is that, you know, a way of cultivating the garden that we have already, that will be ready to plant new seeds. And so some of that work is hard.
I am quite confident that Arlington as a whole appreciates the importance of the work that you've taken on, and as well as the potential difficulties. So hopefully you'll find a lot of willing partners and collaborators in the project that you're taking on here.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I have a lot of support going forward in this new role. So thank you so much, James.
And now let's go to our Studio B at Arlington's High School for this week's Ponderscope.
Hello and welcome to the Ponderscope, your Arlington High School news, updates, and more. We'd like to remind all students that Picture Day makeup is on Tuesday, October 26th. If you missed the chance to get your picture taken before, make sure to come in then so you can get your photo taken for your student ID. You can also purchase a family set by picking up an order form in the main office or our dean's office. Registration for all fall sports is now open. Be sure to check under the athletics page on the Arlington High School website if you are interested in registering for any fall sports. The Math Club is looking for new members. If you are interested in math and math competitions, come to room 430 on Mondays after school to join. That's it for this week's Ponderscope. Thank you for watching, and I'm Veronica Barton.
Arlington Community Media is your place for news. It's also your TV station. Did you ever want to be a citizen journalist for us? You know, you can. All you need is a news story, of course, and your smartphone, and we'll do the rest. Here's ACMi News Director Jeff Barn to show you how.
You may have seen us around town, ACMi TV news crews covering the latest in public, education, and government issues on a weekly basis. But if you see news in the making while we are covering other events, we would love to hear from you. The great thing is you don't need thousands of dollars worth of camera equipment, microphones, tripods, SD cards, and I don't even know what that is. No, all you need to do to get a good news story is this. Practically every smartphone comes equipped with built-in tools that allow you to completely cover an event that you feel is newsworthy. This is all you have to do. Open the camera app on your phone and change it to record video. Hold the camera horizontally. See how it matches the shape of your television? Just remember, don't do this, do this. When you're ready to take your video, hold your phone as steady as possible. You can slowly move or pan on your subject, or you can hold the camera still. Your choice. Make sure your video lasts longer than 5 seconds to say 20 seconds. Then, if you want to take more video, just hit the record button again. 5 seconds to up to 20 seconds. The shorter the video, the easier it will be to send to us.
Keep the phone steady. You don't have to swing it around like it's Blair Witch Project. Just keep the phone like right tight against your body and send us short videos, 20 seconds in length. That's really all you need to do.
Once you've covered your story, select the videos you wish us to see. And the easiest thing to do is send it as an attachment in an email to us, news@acmi.tv. But wait, before you press send, don't forget to tell us about the story, the proverbial who, what, when, where, and why, and we'll contact you if we have questions. Every Arlingtonian can act as our eyes and ears. This is your television station as well.
We're here for the community, and our whole purpose is to support the community and to create community. So we have our community here at ACMi, but we also have the larger Arlington community that we're here to support. So it's really important that we're all sharing and speaking and sharing our opinions with each other.
So, to recap, horizontal, 5 to 20 seconds. Choose the videos you like and send it to us as an attachment to our email address, news@acmi.tv. Oh, and if you really want to learn how to use our state-of-the-art equipment, ACMi can teach you.
Yeah, if you want to come in and learn how to use our video and audio equipment, if you want to come in and be a producer and use our studio, we have all the equipment and all of the knowledge here to teach and share with you how to make your own videos.
They also have the knowledge to tell me that this is a Steadicam holder thingy. I'm Jeff Barnes, Arlington Public News.
That'll do it for this week's edition of ACMi News. I'm Kevin Wetmore.
And I'm Anim Osmani. Thank you so much for joining us. We leave you with a spectacular show September 29th at Spy Pond as this ancient part of our storied past prepares its palette for the colorful fall season.
You can always check out our latest segments and newscasts on the web at acmi.tv/news. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ACMi News. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. You'll find us at youtube.com/ACMi News. If you have any news tips for us or wish to become a citizen journalist, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at news@acmi.tv or stop by ACMI Studio A at 85 Park Avenue.